Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our daily Smile Srimad Bhagavatam. Ananda Brajadas. For our second day of Srimad Bhagavatam at Smile Sanga. I want to welcome you all. Thank you so much for being here. Very auspicious day today. Today is Ekadasi. Yesterday we had Lord Jagannath returning to his temple in Jagannath Puri. A very auspicious day. And today is an auspicious day also being Ekadasi. So let's get started. First we'll share our prayers that we begin with each time we are reading and beginning Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's see if I can find those. First I'll share on Zoom, and then I'll share on YouTube here. Please be patient. Learn all these different controls and stuff, Okay, we'll just see those now. So we lit our flame. We'll begin with the prayers to the spiritual master. Om Gyantimarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master so kindly opened my darkened eyes with the salve of love. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. And so you'll get to know these prayers, and you can just sing along with them if you already know them. Of course, please, you're welcome to sing along. Now, the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam here said that just by chanting this mantra alone, we have 50% of the Bhagavatam being entered into our life, into our heart. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vyasadeva, O all-pervading person of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. And Srimad Bhagavatam 124, Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narotamam, Devim Sarasvatam Vyasam, Tato Jayam Udirahet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. And Srila Vyasadeva, the author, we're going to get a little bit into that today, with our purport of 111. Srimad Bhagavatam 1-18, Nashta Prayasha Breshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Hashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and a loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. And one might ask, what's the importance of verses like this? Why do we chant these verses? And because it creates an atmosphere of auspiciousness. The power of mantra is a vibration that can clear or purify ourselves and the atmosphere, and it gets us into the right perspective or right attitude. I grew up playing sports all my life, and growing up in America, before each sports event, we sing the national anthem. And so both teams and the whole audience stands up and you put your hand on your heart and we sing the national anthem. And it has an effect on the whole atmosphere. I know as a player that, especially during football, we'd be getting ready, we'll be, practicing and stuff like that and getting ready for the game. But the real game time started mentally and prospectively, like it was game time, was when the national anthem went off. It was like a trigger. And I could see myself get, I could feel myself get very excited, and I'd get pumped up. I'd get really ready for the game. Matter of fact, now, whenever I hear the national anthem, I even feel that. I feel like that excitement that is game time. And so when we do these prayers before Srimad Bhagavatam, if they don't right now, it takes some time to realize and to understand. Anyways, it takes some time, but it might be right now. You might feel it. It gets us in a certain attitude, an attitude of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, let me switch here to sharing the Srimad Bhagavatam itself, and we'll get to reading. Stop there, and then we'll share this screen right here. We read the Sanskrit. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1. The chapter is entitled Questions by the Sages. And we read the Sanskrit. We went word for word. There's our Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the very first words spoken, mantra spoken in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the translations. Let's read the translation again, and then we'll go right into the purport. 1 second here. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vyasadeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universe. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there's no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusionary representation of water seen in fire, or land seen in water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is externally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusionary representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Purport. Obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, directly indicate Lord Sri Krishna, who is the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. This fact will be more explicitly explained in the text of this work. Sri Vyasadeva asserts herein that Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and all others are his direct or indirect plenary portions, or portions of the portion. Srila Jiva Goswami has even more explicitly explained the subject matter in the Krishna Sandarbha. And Brahma, the original living being, has explained the subject of Sri Krishna substantially in his treatise named Brahma Samhita. In the Upanishad and the Samaveda, it is also stated that Lord Sri Krishna is the divine son of Devaki. Therefore, in this prayer, the first proposition holds that Lord Sri Krishna is the primeval Lord, and if any transcendental nomenclature is to be understood as belonging to the absolute personality of Godhead, it must be the name indicated by the word Krishna, which means the all-attractive. In the Bhagavad Gita, in many places the Lord asserts himself to be the original personality of Godhead, and this is confirmed, and also by great sages like Narad, Vyas, and many others. In the Padma Puran, it is also stated that out of the innumerable names of Lord, the name of Krishna is the principal one. Vasudeva indicates the plenary portion of the personality of Godhead, and all the different forms of the Lord, being identical with Vyasadeva, are indicated in the text. The name Vyasadeva particularly indicates the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Sri Krishna is always meditated upon by the Paramahamsas, who are the perfected ones amongst those in the renounced order of life. So a lot of Vyasas, right? So we have Vyasadeva, the author, or excuse me, yes, we have Vyasadeva, the author, who has written this Srimad Bhagavatam, and we'll later get into the story about how he decided to read this Srimad Bhagavatam, a very wonderful story that he comes in contact with Narad, his spiritual master, and Narad gives him some instructions about why he's not happy. And then we have Krishna, the Vasudeva, indicated as Lord Sri Krishna, as the son of Vyasadeva. So it's natural for us to want to understand where we come from. We want to know our origins. And here, Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purport that the origin of everything is Krishna. Krishna even says this in the Bhagavad Gita. Ham Sarvasya Prabhu. He says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. He says, everything emanates from me. And so we should understand that Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original personality, is like a candle. He's the original candle. And when that candle lights another candle, both candles have the potency of the first candle, but they're still an original candle. So the incarnations of Krishna are like this. They have the potency of Krishna, but they're still an original candle. And so we, as spirit souls, our origin is that we were manifested by Krishna, and we have a relationship with him. And the name Krishna means all attractive, Srila Prabhupada was saying. Right here. Means all attractive. What does that mean, all attractive? Well, if you've ever gone through the grocery store or the market, you'll often see magazines, right? There's magazines when you go through the checkout. You're about to buy your food, your items, and there's these some are called Time magazine, some are People magazine, so many different magazines. And on those magazines are things that are meant to attract us. They want our attention. If they get our attention, we're more likely to buy the magazine, right? So what's on these magazines that's attractive? Well, often you'll see things like the top 20 most rich, wealthy people in the world. Wealth is attractive. We want to know who the richest person in the world is. Is it Elon Musk? Is there somebody who isn't giving their wealth? They're not showing their wealth. So maybe there's another person in the world that's more rich than Elon Musk. But we want to know. We want to know who the most wealthy are. What else? The top 20 most blank in the world. The beautiful? We want to know who the most beautiful people in the world are. We want to know who the top 20 most famous people in the world. Who's the most famous people in the world? Was it Leonardo DiCaprio? But anyways, this person or that person. Messi, the soccer player, Messi or Ronaldo. Who's more popular? Who's more famous? What else? We have who's the most strong? You'll even see bodybuilding magazines, and who's the strongest person in the world, and so on. There's a renunciation, and so we want to know we are attracted to these things, these opulences, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he carries all of the opulences, all of the attractiveness, incomplete. If we see Krishna with the right eyes, we see the most beautiful person in the world. It's just a fact. He's the most beautiful person, not in the world, and he's the most beautiful person. He's the most wealthy. Said that all of the planets, right? I was talking about the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Prabhavo, says all of the spiritual world, I am the creator of all spiritual and material worlds. Raise your hand if you're the owner of a world or a creator of a world. No, right? Even one world, we don't have that uh, uh, claim to. There are some people who are the leaders or the kings of or empires of a whole world, we understand in the histories, but nobody owns it. But Krishna owns all, he's the creator of it. He may not show up front that he owns it because he's renounced. He doesn't need to show off that he owns everything. He can let people play their game that they are the owner of the world and he's okay with it. Okay. And then sometimes his devotees are the emperors of the world, and they steward how they take care of the world and the people of the world and all living entities of the world for the pleasure of the Lord. And you'll see and hear in the Srimad Bhagavatam of places like that where it's very beautiful because the devotee has the right perspective of how to be an emperor. So that's person, that all attractive, is the person who manifested you and I. He is our original father. And like any father, they want to see their child do better than them. Krishna wants us to do better than him. It's amazing, huh? And so, what do we need to do? Well, we just need to turn to our Father. We need to, all we have to do is add our hearts to His and add His heart to our heart. When you add your heart to someone's and someone adds their heart to you, you have a wonderful relationship and you're thinking about the betterment of that person. You care for him very much. And love has no measurement in the sense of value, like, oh, I gave you more, so therefore I love you more. I gave you, my present was bigger than your present. Does the parent who gives their child all kinds of toys expect from their child a car, a house? The child might, when they grow up and become an adult, might give those things. But as a child, as a small child, the parents is just happy when they get a little picture that says, "Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday, Mom." And that picture is worth everything to them. It's worth more than $1 million. It's invaluable. So our relationship with Krishna is that we are doing things for him. We are, in the sense of the things that we do are meant to be an expression of love towards him. And they're might be very small compared to the person who is the creator of all material and spiritual worlds, but he is ready to give us everything. Elon Musk, if you're his best friend, let's say Warren Buffett. If Warren Buffett's your best friend, and you ask Warren Buffett, or if Warren Buffett gives you a birthday present, and he gives you a brand new car, and you might feel overwhelmed. Like, wow, you shouldn't be giving me such a big present. But to Warren Buffett, who has $300 million in the bank account, it's nothing. It's like, it's an expression of his love with what he has. So here we are in this material world, often looking for love, relationships, and looking for our significance in so many different ways. And we keep the Lord out of the picture. And yet he's waiting for us with open arms to turn to him and take shelter of him. And so we should take shelter of this. We should add our hearts to Krishna, and then everything we do be an offering to him, to be an act of love to him. And we'll see that our life will become amazing. We'll live a life of adventure. We'll see him in the world through our eyes, through our ears, even through our tongue. We'll see him in all certain ways that he's acting in our life. And that's what the Srimad Bhagavatam is about. It's about how Krishna is acting in the life of his devotees. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. See if we get one more paragraph in. We have about this emanates from the Lord because it contains the transcendental narrations of the person. The history of the Srimad Bhagavatam is also very glorious. It was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva after he had attained maturity in transcendental knowledge. He wrote this under the instructions of Sri Naraji, his spiritual master. Vyasadeva compiled all Vedic literatures containing the 4 divisions of Vedas and Vedanta Sutras, or the Brahma Sutras, the Puranas, the Mahabharata, and so on. But nonetheless, he was not satisfied. His dissatisfaction was observed by his spiritual master, and thus Narada advised him to write the transcendental activities of the Lord Sri Krishna. These transcendental activities are described specifically in the 10th canto of this work, but in order to reach to the very substance, one must proceed gradually by developing knowledge of the categories. This is very important because Narad Muni is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva, the author who compiled this Srimad Bhagavatam. And the work he did before this was he gathered all Vedic literature and wrote it down. He knew that in the coming age that people would not be able to remember as well as they had in previous ages. We tend to think that we are becoming more advanced in society, and there are definitely some things, technology-wise that we're doing that are pretty wonderful, that are pretty amazing. One thing is, though, in the past, people could memorize just by simply reading a book like this. They would read it once and they could remember it by memory. They didn't have to read this. They could just listen to it from somebody else. They could listen and hear it and they would remember it. But Vyasadeva knew that people were losing this ability. And so he decided that he needed to write down all the Vedas. And this is a work of art that anybody who is a artist or anybody who's a professional in their field would appreciate. And even if you aren't a professional, you would appreciate, because he did the most amazing work in his profession. The library of Vedic knowledge is so big that it would fill up, many libraries, many libraries full of books. It's like if Ronaldo or Messi won 20 World Cups in a row. It's like so amazing and so big that it's like we can't even comprehend it. We'd be like, I don't know if that's even possible, This is the work he did. The people, if you won the Nobel Peace Prize 10 years in a row because you were doing these amazing things, people would be like, oh my gosh, wow. So he did this amazing work and he still wasn't happy. He still was let down. And he was curious, what is it that has me not feeling satisfied? And his spiritual master comes, Narada Muni, and explains to him, look, any work we do will feel incomplete if it's not for the purpose, the direct purpose of glorifying the Lord, for pleasing the Lord. And so he said, you've written all these books and they're masterful work, but yet you left out the most important part, is to glorify the Lord directly. And that's the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the direct glorification of the Lord. It takes all pseudo-religion, all material desires, and it throws it out. See, sometimes in religion, we can learn how to do things nicely in a way it gives us a nice material facility. We start doing things that are very righteous, very auspicious, purifying. We become very dependable. We might speak nicely. We live a clean life. And that can give us a very comfortable situation, because religion has the ability to purify and cleanse. And we get stuck there, though. Oh, this is nice. It's comfortable. But that's not the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is to bring us to a point where we have a relationship with the Lord. We want a relationship with the Supreme Lord. And so if we fall short of that, we actually get stuck in the what's called the material gains of religion. And so all of that is thrown out in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's no sense of, I could do this and get this benefit materially. It goes strictly to the highest of all knowledge and the highest of all purification. And so that's what we're reading here. We're going to go through this. And so I encourage you guys, please come here, come daily. We'll be doing this Srimad Bhagavatam. We're going to take our time through it. We're not going to speed through it. We're going to really dive in deep, and really, I hope, my hope is that when we read this Srimad Bhagavatam, it becomes alive in your life. It becomes practical. You start seeing the lessons that we're talking about, that the Srimad Bhagavatam is giving, and we're seeing it in our life. It becomes alive. And it's such an amazing thing. So many devotees have experienced this, that through Srimad Bhagavatam, through reading it daily, we have a prayer in the very beginning that says, the daily Srimad Bhagavatam purifies our heart of all contamination and establishes the Supreme Person as an irrevocable fact. Irrevocable facts means it's not just something we know, it's something that we've realized, we experience. And so this is what the Srimad Bhagavatam is going to do to our life if we regularly do it. It will. It's a science. It's guaranteed that if you do this with the right attitude, with the approaching it in a point that we want to know about we want to add the Lord's heart to ours and add our heart to His, then we're going to experience this, and it's a very beautiful thing. Okay, so today, let me check the chat for YouTube. Nothing there. In Zoom, we do this in Zoom each day, and so if people want, they can attend that Zoom session. If you go to smile.com, that's SMYHL.com, you can find our WhatsApp group. You can find a bunch of information about what we do here and about how we are a Sangha, a community of supporting teammates, friends, family that are all encouraging each other to really live a life of miraculous greatness, of beautiful life. And we encourage and support each other in this way. So go there, check it out. And then you can find also how to get into our WhatsApp group. And in the WhatsApp group, we have our Zoom link. And then when we have meetings like this, we can ask questions and talk about it, have a little discussion time. Okay, thank you very much. I pray that you all have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, a God conscious day, and Jaya JayaSri Jagannath, Hare Krishna.